What's good? What's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, coming to you via the YouTube airways. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K Sap. And today, man, we got one of them shows for you. But when you come across this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you got your post notifications on so you'll know every time Simply Ball Dropping drops another hot banger. If your first time coming across the platform and you're new to the channel, do me a favor. Please hit that subscribe button. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. And you know what my mantra is. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. Well, today's show, man, we're going to get right off into it. We got to talk about our good friend, our old pal, Mr. Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock, he's at it again. He's doing what he does best. Guys, I've been covering Jason Whitlock ever since Deion Sanders took over that Colorado program on December 22nd. And, Jason Whitlock, had his, things to say about Deion Sanders after the first game when they played TCU. And it was a close game, but Colorado ended up pulling that game off. And after the game, Deion Sanders went to his post-game press conference and he stated, we coming, we here now. He was giving praise to the man above. And, he was talking about he was keeping receipts for everybody that, doubted him. That was just one game. So after that, Jason Whitlock went to his podcast and stated his displeasures for what Deion Sanders said in the post-game press conference. Basically, he was saying that, he was taken away from the kid's shine and, a feel-good story to try to make it all about himself. A lot of people agree with Jason Whitlock. A lot of people have, stood 10 toes down with Jason Whitlock when Jason Whitlock, criticizes Deion Sanders and slanders him. A lot of people agree with what Jason Whitlock has said. A lot of people have disagreed. It's for anybody to judge. It's anybody's personal opinion on how they feel about a certain situation. But Jason Whitlock has been a heavy critic of Deion Sanders all season long. Even when they started off to a hot start, when they went 3-0, Jason Whitlock was still going to his platform, criticizing everything that Deion Sanders has done. He's criticized Deion Sanders for having all the rappers up there in Boulder, Colorado, all the celebrities and the entrepreneurs, everybody on the sideline, from the DJ being in the locker room. Also, he has criticized his sons. Also, he's made light of a situation where, talking about, Deion Sanders Jr., well-off media. Every time they go somewhere, they got a camera on. They post it on social media. He don't like the fact that he's doing that. He didn't like the fact that Shador Sanders was, pumping up the Shador sign with the wristwatch on. He didn't like that. He criticized everything that the Sanders family has done. And Jason Whitlock was one of Deion's biggest fans when he played with the Dallas Cowboys when he was in the NFL. So now that he's went on to his coaching, career, Jason Whitlock has let it be known that, Deion is not really made for college football coaching. Always, trying to side with his son and things like that, doing things to make sure that his kids are well off. But that's what you're supposed to do as a father. And as a coach, when you have kids that have that type of talent and that type of potential, you want to see them do well. But Jason Whitlock has criticized everything that Deion Sanders has done with that Colorado program. Colorado ended the season 4-8, and Jason Whitlock is still trying to take shots at Deion. He recently said that Deion is like a cult leader, making people drink the cult juice and things like that. So a lot of people in the media have went back at Jason Whitlock, with the likes of Stephen A. Smith, Kwame Brown. There's a lot of people, Shannon Sharp, Charleston White. There's a lot of people that have been coming at Jason Whitlock for the slander that he has shown toward Deion Sanders, in critiquing Deion Sanders as the man, but not the coach. So he's making it personal. He's taking personal shots at Deion Sanders instead of critiquing him as a coach, instead of making it personal. So basically what he's doing, he's questioning that man's Christian beliefs and all that. But like Jason Whitlock, he said it on his channel. There's pictures out there. He's had shortcomings as well. But he has criticized Deion Sanders to a extreme measures where a lot of people agree with Jason Whitlock, but everybody has their own opinion. And my opinion is, if you're going to criticize, man, criticize him for what he's doing as a coach, not as a man in his personal life. But it don't stop there. So now what has Jason Whitlock done? At the end of the season, Colorado went 4-8. So Jason Whitlock has reached out to two former players that played with Deion through the spring and said in that meeting, the first meeting Deion Sanders had, talking about, I'm bringing my Louis with me, we coming. And he got a chance to sit down and interview these guys. One guy by the name of Caden, the other guy by the name of Owen. One was a walk-on and one was a linebacker. And they was on the Fearless podcast with Jason Whitlock, and he got an exclusive. Take a listen to some of the things that they talked about. Take a listen.
Deion's first press conference or first meeting with the team, it's taped, it's on film. Deion's still coaching at Jackson State, but he comes to Colorado and has a press conference that he films or his sons film and they release on the internet. And so that seems a bit weird to me that the first meeting with the team wouldn't be condensed to just the team for the team's ears only. Was there a meeting before that, or was that the actual the meeting or the highlights we saw? That was you all's first introduction to Deion Sanders.
Kidding. That was the first time we met him, heard, and that we actually heard that he was getting hired that day. Because the media kind of gets to it before we even did.
And so we're sitting at home watching on the internet, and he's saying, I'm coming, and I'm bringing Louis with me, and basically telling people to hit the transfer portal. You guys I'm sitting there, I'm an old man, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This ain't the right message for a head coach. As young kids, what were you all thinking listening to that?
So as he walked into that meeting room with his camera crew and slew of coaches, I had an opinion about him already, and I was a little bit cautious. I knew he had a reputation, and I thought that maybe this coach isn't the guy I want to play for. And he came in and gave us the message, I'm bringing my luggage, it's Louis. You guys need to work hard or leave. If you're scared, that's good. And honestly, it changed my opinion of him. I really liked what he was saying because it was a challenge. He told me, prove to me that you're not scared, you're not going to run away. And it stoked a fire in my ego a little bit. And I thought, okay, I'm here. He's coming, I'm here. So it made me want to impress him and play for him. So from that moment forward, I was ready to do what it took to be there.
And so, but your initial reaction before you heard from him was you didn't like Deion, or not your cup of tea as a coach. Maybe you liked him as a football player and a personality, but maybe you were hesitant about him being as a coach before you heard him talk.
Yes, sir.
Caden, what was your thought sitting in that meeting?
Well, first off, I was very open-minded to the whole situation. I was already a kid that was, I was a walk-on. I had a chip on my shoulder with something to prove. And, when we heard about the hire, I was like, who better to prove it to than Deion Sanders, right? Sitting in that meeting, I was excited because, like Owen said, he basically told us, he's coming to weed out the weak, and, you better be ready to work. And, someone like me, that's something that really excited me. And, I felt good about it initially.
So you heard what the former players said, and what I get out of that, if y'all want to go listen to the entire interview, you can go to the Fearless podcast with Jason Whitlock. But what I got out of the clip that I just played, the guys really accepted the fact that Deion was coming in trying to weed out the weak and only the strong survive. But what Jason Whitlock did there was made it seem like, oh, your first impression is you didn't like Deion Sanders. Never gave the kids the opportunity to finish off their statements until he went off into, oh, y'all didn't like Deion Sanders. So what Jason Whitlock was doing there, like I said, he's trying to pour salt in the wound, but he didn't get what he expected from that interview, because if you go listen to the entire interview, you would understand that, it was just a situation that, them guys, they became weak and they rooted their self out. It ain't like Deion ran them off. It's like some guys were just not built for it. So, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody can form an opinion about the situation. But like I said, that's just Jason Whitlock being Jason Whitlock, trying to pour salt in the wound. Whatever he's doing over there at the Fearless Podcast, he's being very successful. His views is up, his subscribers is up. So, I'm not knocking a man for hustling the way he's hustling. But you guys let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. I know we got trolls in the comments, man. We got negative people in the comments. Like they said, when you're great, they're going to hate. So y'all keep it coming. This is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. I'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
Another one.